So it sheared the freaking keyway right off. What's it gonna do now that I've changed it over?
228 horsepower better.
What's up, guys? Kyle here, Steve Morris Engines. We're on the dyno today with something a little bit different, a little bit out of the normal from what we normally do. This is monster cubic inch. I don't even know what deck height this thing is, but it's 843 cubic inches, naturally aspirated on pump gas. So this is an engine that a customer brought us. He was having some oil pressure issues, ran like garbage, and he just wanted us to take a look at it and see what's wrong. So we took it apart, found what some different issues were going on with it. We put it all back together, basically used all the same exact parts. Now I've got it on the dyno here, and we're going to start working through the tune-up on everything and see what's up. Hopefully we're going to go for I think something like this on pump gas, like 1300 horsepower, I think would be really good. So I'm going to go ahead and start making some pulls on it, and we'll see. Alright guys, so I've made a couple of preliminary pulls and got the tune-up dialed in. The tune-up, I think, realistically is where I want it already. I mean, it shaped up pretty good. You know, closed loop is where I want it. Target air fuel looks good. The spark plugs look good, but if you take a look at this graph, we're going in the wrong direction. I mean, it's making really good torque, really good power, but it's just absolutely falling on its face down there, like practically after 4,500 RPM. So we're gonna have to go in there and take a look at that. I've looked at a couple of things already. He's got a little bit different ignition setup than what we would normally run on something like this. So instead of like a standard Hall effect crank, Hall effect cam and smart coils, he's got a mag crank and he's running it through an MSD system. So it's something a little bit goofy there, but I really think it should work like that. So I'm gonna look at a couple more things here and there, do some experiments, play with the tune-up a little bit, just in case it is something in the tune-up, which I don't think it is. But if all else fails, we'll probably just put smart coils on it, call it a day. But I'm gonna play around with it. You guys will watch me do that, and we'll see. Alright, so unfortunately I've made a few more pulls and I cannot make the thing, it just lays over the same spot really. I mean, we made some marginal changes with retarding the camshaft 4 degrees. So we were at 112, now it's at 116, and it did pick up a little bit more out the back, but it's not even close. So I'm gonna go ahead and just change it over to what we normally would do, which is, like I said, Hall effect cam, Hall effect crank, smart coils, and we're just running everything through the Holly. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this whole thing up, and of course, because it's a super fancy, super tall deck, it's gonna need a little bit of modification because nothing just bolts onto this. So you guys are gonna see me do that. We'll put this magnet in there. Other than this, though, it's really a pretty straightforward swap. So hopefully that will fix all our problems. But we'll see. so I was rolling this thing over with the spark plugs and stuff still in it, and it had just a little bit too much turning work to the point where it just sheared this, because it only had a little bit of keyway on there. I was holding it on, so it sheared the freaking keyway right off. So now I gotta take this little front drive mandrel apart and put a new keyway in it. It's one of them things, man. One of them things. Alright, so I have now fixed our broken keyway in here, and I'll just say real quick that that's one of them things why a lot of the times these engine dynos are just, they're not profitable for us, because yeah, sometimes it's necessary because we need to figure out stuff and we need to get stuff running right before we send it out the door. But something just stupid like that, I mean, makes the difference between it being profitable and not profitable for us. But regardless, so I've got it fixed. I've just got this mocked up on here roughly. I have rolled the engine over to 185 degrees before top dead center. And the reason it's 185 is because in the Holly, it's actually just a simple math equation. You take your crank reference angle and add 135 degrees. That's what your cam reference angle is supposed to be. So when it's at 185, this is at 50. I'm going to take my Sharpie now, which is somewhere, and I'm going to make a dot right where I need to put the magnet. We just put it roughly right there in the center. And you see with these brackets, you do get a lot of adjustment back and forth and side to side. So that looks pretty straight and nice and centered in there. So we'll go ahead and take that back off. We'll build the spacers for it. And then I'll drill and tap our belt drive cam gear. I'll put the magnet in there. And once we do that, it'll basically be ready to just hook up and go. Alright, so I have changed over 3-wire Hall effect sensor, cam and crank. We have put our smart coils on it. Everything else I've left the same. So it'll be interesting to see what exactly changes on this thing. What do you think? What are we going to do? What's it going to do now that I've changed it over? Is this going to solve all our problems?
It really shouldn't do anything, but did you set time?
Not yet. I'm going to check that real quick. I never moved the crank trigger, so it should be the same, but I'll check it.
Not really, but it, I mean, the induction delay or something all different. So I wouldn't think it'd do. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. If anything, it would change the tune-up. Why would it change the tune-up?
Because it's a different inductive delay.
Close. Because it's probably a hotter spark. A hotter spark. Yeah. It'll probably lean it up.
We'll find out.
We shall find out, so don't throw it on kill.
It's not on kill. I've got tons of timing out of it. This is like way easy. Like, I've got a bunch of fuel in it and a bunch of timing out of it, so I'm just trying to make sure that it doesn't get hurt, you know, when we're trying to experiment on stuff. But I'm gonna check the timing real quick and we're gonna make a pull. Made a significant difference.
It's better.
It still lays over.
It's better. Might be able to look at tune-up after that, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I can believe this. It's 5, how big is it? 5 inch, 100 stroke or something stupid.
Yeah, whatever makes 843 cubic inches. I don't know. I didn't build it. Joe put it together.
All right, Joe, go put it together. Okay, it's on there somewhere. I forget. But this does look better than the previous.
Oh, by a lot.
By a
Considering
lot.
I did not change the tune-up at all.
Yeah, same tune-up. So, red line is HP, what it just did. The green line is what it did with the MSD box. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty resistant to doing that. I didn't think it was gonna work. That's pretty good. So I mean, that's the best horsepower it's made, and I can believe it. It doesn't have. This is still a streetcar engine. That's a lot of horsepower for that kind of RPM. Still pump gas, 93 octane. So, I can live with it laying over. There's no doubt this thing is not going to RPM 8,500 RPM or even 8,000 RPM with that camshaft. This setup ain't going to happen.
What would be the difference between the camshaft that makes that engine run 8,500 RPM versus, I mean, it's only going to run up 6,500?
Bigger.
Bigger yet?
Oh yeah. Way bigger. Way bigger. That's a pretty short deal in that. But so I can believe that. It just that this was never good. That green line was never good. That sucked. But that's pretty good. So go in there, look at your tune-up, and carry on, son.
Yeah, sounds good.
Alrighty, if you remember from the second video on PRI show, I had just walked by and go, oh yeah, I really need to look at little grinders and little equipment because all my junk is all wore out. Somewhere down the road, we really need to upgrade some of our fab stuff. We got old stuff, like this is nice. Well, we went back, I didn't even video it. We went back and I did get some stuff here from C.H. Hansen. And they sent me this palm grin. I think it's palm grin equipment. So I'm gonna unpack all this stuff. But first, you gotta see this other thing. So we get back from the PRI show, and I'm here, and all of a sudden this package comes in from Amazon, and it is this bad boy. Check this out. So it is a beta foldable engine stand. This is a really nice unit. This thing is like butter. And worm gear, super heavy duty, rolls like a dream. And I go, or actually my secretary says, did you order this? I go, no. She goes, well, who did it come from? I go, I have no idea. And so we were hunting around for it, and I'm figuring, yep, they're probably just going to come take it back. It probably got misdelivered or something, or somehow the address got put wrong or whatever. But lo and behold, Sean, one of our channel members, said Merry Christmas and sent me this thing, and it is super sweet. Thank you much, Sean. That is awesome. Awesome. I haven't even put an engine on it yet. We're going to put an SMX on it real quick, and one of the SMXs that's getting built. So right now I'm gonna get back and we're just gonna open up these things. I'll show you all the stuff, and it's gonna be pretty excited about having some new small stuff, little grinders, a saw, pedestal mount, bench grinder, and pedestal mount little belt sander deal. Just little stuff that, you know, it's always such a hassle when something's wore out and broke, and so just little things that I just got here. Alright, so I'm pretty excited about this because my saw is beat up old piece of crap from years ago. I'm really disappointed that Dog did not want to utilize this brand new dog box. It is a perfect dog box, and he didn't want to go in there. It's selfish. But he's busy tearing apart pallet. So anyways, saw, which is really nice. My old saw is really just a beat up old piece of junk. This is really exciting. I like this thing. And then I got a mini one too that we could take around, but I thought I got it on a pedestal, so I got to get back with him and get a pedestal. Then I just got a vise, and then pedestal mount grinder. Anyways, this all all this stuff has all brand new guards and all the cool stuff, so that's pretty exciting. These are just our clamps down here. Really good clamps for welding that have copper coated screws so the welding slag doesn't stick on it. And so here is my big purchase from the PRI show. So I'm pretty excited. Actually, this little stuff excites me because we can do quick, little, easy stuff, which makes it real nice. And yeah, I mean, I would love to have like this real deal $2,000 American iron vise, but the only thing I would ever do with it is hit it with a hammer and say, wow, that thing's stuff. So I really don't have any good use for it. So anyways, super excited about this stuff. So CH Hansen, appreciate you know, being able to buy all this stuff, and you sending it right away. So I mean, it was fast. It was actually here, this is Monday, it was actually here last week Friday, so I mean, they jumped right on it fast. So anyways, back to dynoing.
All right, so pulled the plugs off after that pull, and I don't know how well you can really see it on camera, but I mean, our fuel looks good, timing looks good. I'm probably gonna leave the fuel alone, at least up top, and then put a little bit more timing in it just to make it so we'll get it over 1200. But yeah, it looks really good. And I did bring up the cam card because we were talking about the camshaft here earlier after I got done with the pull. So this camshaft is a 280, this is at 50 numbers. It's a 280 295 on a 115 lobe separation. So I don't know. I don't really know all that much about like the big cubic inch NA stuff. So to me that's like a gigantic cam. But like I said, I don't have any experience in big cubic inch NA stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a little bit more timing at it. Just try to get her over 1200 and just clean some stuff up, make sure it revs up nice, idles nice, and then we'll be done with this thing. That looks better.
Genius. Way to go. Compare it to the last one. Yeah.
Which I mean that makes
Did you change
sense
some
because
fuel?
just a little bit, yeah. But I mean,
Didn't change
4500
anything on
and below, you can see I didn't make any changes, but right where I started making changes, you can see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean that's
That's
off of
good.
that's off of 2 degrees. It picked up that much.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll look at the plugs, but I don't know if how much further you want to go or how much power he really wants to make.
That's going to be a lot of horsepower on pump gas. And it's what I figured it should make. Was 12. I felt good with 1200. I mean, the curve looks right and everything. We can manipulate curves to whatever we want with timing, fuel, whatnot. So if we wanted, I mean, theoretically, we could make it. Well, probably not up there. We could probably make it like nice and straight and linear and make its peak horsepower out here. But the nature of the engine is that it wants to make a bunch of horsepower here because it is a really big engine. So, you know, I mean, 7,000 RPM. This isn't falling off so bad that it's gonna be like you pulled a parachute out on it. It just, you know,
Yeah, because I mean, you think about it, the difference between here, where the peak is, and there is really not that much power.
Right. This is, yeah, I mean, in reality, it's, well, I mean, it's 50, extra 45 or so. So 45 from peak up from out to there. Yeah, you really honestly probably wouldn't feel that in the car at all by the seat of your pants. But it would be, you know, I think out here, man, it's pretty. I think it's pretty goddamn good. It is definitely way better than what it was. So I'm very surprised that he's unhappy with that. I mean, that is the standard deal forever. We're all over the place on the tune trying to make it better. Or I wasn't, Kyle was. And what do you think?
It's pretty good. I don't know. We'll get a hold of him, see what he thinks.
Yeah.
Maybe call it a day. I don't know.
All right, so we'll get a hold of Walton's, Scott Walton over there, and start giving the rundown of what we've been finding out. But let's look at this one right here. You can look at spark plugs. Why don't you guys go and look at spark plugs? But we'll look at the graph. That is, so right there at 6,800 RPM, that is 910 horsepower previously. I'm sorry, that was 990 horsepower previously to 1173. That is a boatload of horsepower better. Over here it's even more. So 90, or I'm sorry, 10. So that's 183 horsepower better. And right there, 994. That's 100. That's 200 horsepower better. 228 horsepower better. It is really unhappy with the ignition style.
Yeah.
So it's something. I mean, we maybe could have found the perfect. There probably is not gonna lie. There probably is a perfect fuel combination for it. But how a 1GNA coil works. So that's a smart coil, all right? How a smart coil system works is it even has a longer duration spark, as I understand it. It has a longer duration spark than a CDI box. So the spark is physically bzz, instead of bzz, like it.
Yeah.
It's a good sound effects.
Yeah, you're holding the button down on the taser versus you just.
That's right.
You just zap it.
Oh, if we had, that would be really cool to example that out with a taser.
Let's demonstrate.
Now watch this, Nate. Or versus. Okay. So, anyways, that's how a 1GNA coil works. So that would be meaning that it's burning fuel. It's doing some stuff. Yeah. Interesting. All right. I'll go check out spark plugs and I'll show you what a spark plug looks like. Kyle will show you how to read a spark plug too.
Yeah, looks good. I mean, you can see the strap out. Like, again, I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but the fuel looks good. I mean, the strap looks really good. The timing, I mean, this plug looks exactly the same as the plug I just showed you the pull before. So I think it will still take some more timing. We're gonna leave the timing. Well, we're gonna leave the whole tune-up alone, really, until we hear back from the customer. Because if he doesn't want to make any more power, then I'll just leave it conservative. There's no reason to try and push more, even though we can. I'm sure there's probably a lot more we could do to it, but I think that's going to be pretty good. So, like I said, good looking spark plug. We'll put her back together and send it.